Two teams that celebrated trophy wins at the end of last season, but will there be further success this time around? After victories against third-tier opposition in round 3, Newcastle will have plenty of runners. Tonali deep, Chow across, spilled by the goalkeeper Kinski. Elanga sets it, and it was hit there by Joe Willock. Still a chance maybe. Joao Palhinha nips in, away by Spence. Long diagonal it should have been. How close were Newcastle here?
Yeah, I mean, they just lose Thiaw at the back post. He drifts out there. They're a little bit of 6 or 7s at that point, and Palhinha has to come out.
Side dominating possession in the early exchanges. Tonali, Elanga, Voltemara, smart turn, and the ball's on to Barnes! Oh, so many times in that position you'd see Harvey Barnes shift it and go across goal, and failing to hit the target.
Big miss, really big miss from Harvey Barnes. Look at that. Lovely footwork and awareness from Voltemara, and you're spot on. He's got to go the other side. 9 times out of 10 you'd expect him to do that. I actually think he wants to do that, but he just doesn't execute it. It comes off his
black these days, but they were a shade of white and gold way back when.
Okay.
Tonali, free header down, and in it goes from Fabian Schär. He scored twice in this competition en route to victory last season, and has just powered the Magpies in front here at St James's.
This game, we saw it early on, the very first one. Tottenham looked a little bit shaky. Jed Spence not quite back in position yet, maybe, from tying his boot. But just as I mentioned, Fabian Schär, enjoying seeing him back on the pitch. He comes in unmarked, rises above everyone. It's a pretty simple free header, if I'm honest. Tottenham don't make any contact. No one's up against him. Nobody competing for that ball. Schär takes full advantage.
Well, Spurs leaving massive gaps there, and Fabian Schär could not believe his luck. Kinski, Charlison beaten to it by Schär. Charlison, Johnson, who has Pedro Porro galloping on the outside. This cross nodded away by Byrne. Danso is going to hit it here, straight at the goalkeeper. International didn't quite have the finesse to guide it into the far corner.
It wasn't just a hit, was it? It was a, I'm going to place this in the top corner. Really tried to open his body out.
Dan Byrne with a long one. There towards Chow. Barnes. Elanga. Tonali. That's not a bad ball. Chow miss kicks, and then what a save over the top to deny Barnes. Always have the decision. But Newcastle coming close to number 2.
Yeah, I think this one just rattles off the crossbar. Lovely ball back in from Tonali. The run is there. You think that was an effort on goal, possibly. As that comes back through, or whether or not he's tried to pick Barnes out there, I'm not too sure from Thiaw. But very acrobatic, just can't get over the top of the ball.
You've already seen the goalkeepers have a strict 8 seconds this season now to release the ball. Danso in towards Richarlison. The chance he's been waiting for. Ramsdale.
His first real chance on target. He just gives Dan Byrne a little nudge in the back there. Byrne complaining.
The North Londoners not waiting around here. Time against them in the first half at least. Xavi Simons. Bergvall. Xavi Simons will go for goal again. And over it goes, though he thought it got a touch. The referee didn't agree.
Well, it looked a definite touch for me. Just a skim of the fingers there from Ramsdale. You saw the little adjustment of the ball.
Should have been a corner. Spurs protesting about that, but they have work to do. 1 goal in what has been a non-stop first half. A header from Fabian Schär.
So they're also just getting a little bit more in control of the game. They started to lose their grip last 10 minutes of the first half. Credit to Spurs, they got back into it, started to control a lot of the possession. Both teams really pressing in quite high, aren't they? Newcastle, all midfield players going all the way in to win the ball.
Byrne. Barnes. Nicely flighted, chance for 2-0, and it should have been off the head of Willock as well. Spurs with Richarlison, stopped there by Chow.
Spurs that really win the ball back well there in the midfield, and Newcastle very open and split, as if they're comfortable in possession. That turnover really could have hurt them.
From a Spurs point of view, they don't have too much to look to on their bench tonight, with so many players missing. Gray adding to the injury list yesterday in training as Voltemada might well have secured Newcastle's passage through. It's Big Nick for the Magpies, who surprisingly for a man of his size isn't amazing in the air. Got his angles right that time.
Well, Spurs have just struggled with balls into the box all evening, but it's Kinski this time. Where's he going? Danzo turning around, having a look at him, saying, where are you going? Just stay on your line, let me deal with this. And that header is going plumb into your gloves, but he makes the decision to come and deal with it. From then on, Voltemada doesn't have to do a lot, just get the contact, hit the target. 2-0 Newcastle.
Voltemada power sliding his way towards the corner flag. His 6th goal in his last 9 games this campaign. He only scored 11 in the whole of last season under Ange Postecoglou. They got something here. By Porto, Richarlison coming in at the far stick, double punch away by Ramsdale. Spence charging forward, releasing Johnson. Richarlison in the middle, Bergvall as well as Xavi Simons, who sets it for Sarr. Great save by Ramsdale, but still alive. Cher puts it behind. She thought he might come in to be the #1, but he's been a bench warmer apart from this competition. But showed smart reflexes there.
Well, we've seen him make wonder saves in the past. There's another one. Absolutely brilliant. He can only make this, Aaron Ramsdale, with this kind of anticipation. He reads the situation brilliantly. He's already travelling. He knows now that that ball's going down to his left. Gets down. He's travelling at good speed. Solid.
Somehow he doesn't feel completely done at 2-0. And making those changes, it'll be interesting to see what effect they have. Porto in towards Richarlison. Another great save by Ramsdale.
This is actually a really good touch from Richarlison. Lovely run. Gets across the face of Shah. And then to get this kind of touch on the ball, just to guide it towards goal on the outside of your foot, it's not a bad effort. Improvisation.
Sarr. Too much movement in this Spurs side at the moment. Here's Kudus. Joelinton and Byrne, the two facing him, which is a little bit of a daunting prospect. Porto. Richarlison. Well, he's had plenty of chances now, hasn't he? But here in Trippier against his former side. And they round it off with a third. No, they can't. But through Newcastle United go. Comfortable 2-0 winners in the end against the Spurs side that had chances.